the Vice-Chancellor led the 7 candidates to Cumulus Mountain. When they reached halfway up the mountain, the Vice-Chancellor prepared to take a brief rest to call the roll. After checking, he realized that Lu Sheng was nowhere to be seen. Could he not have caught up yet? A fellow candidate commented that it seemed Lu Sheng had already been ahead of them earlier. Could it be that the Vice-Chancellor didn't see him? Shocked, the Vice-Chancellor stared ahead, wondering if Lu Sheng intended to rush straight to the summit. At that moment, 2 members from the Sea Dragon Martial Arts School reached the midpoint of the mountain. Senior brother Yellow Hair planned to rest here before proceeding, but Blue Hair suggested why not push directly to the top since she still had some energy left. Yellow Hair then explained that we are now at the cloud entry point, beyond which there are 5 stone steps hidden by the mist, known as the ascension path, symbolizing a direct ascent to the heavens. Blue Hair impatiently urged his senior brother to get to the point. Why are you beating around the bush? Yellow Hair explained that this place was once where martial Saint Zhou Fuhai cultivated by enduring celestial fires and thunder, connecting spiritually with heaven and earth, and achieved the martial saint status. As such, remnants of martial Saint Zhou's aura still linger here. Any martial artist under the age of 30 who comes here, if talented enough, and who walks the ascension path without stopping, might trigger the martial arts opportunity left by Zhou Fuhai, causing a heaven and earth phenomenon. What? Just as Blue Hair was about to ask what a heaven and earth phenomenon was, a loud noise came from the summit. Yellow Hair said, yes, that's the heaven and earth phenomenon. The clouds churn and the mists shift unpredictably. Anyone who can trigger such a phenomenon is destined to rise to Grandmaster level, and possibly even. They were just reflecting on this when they were stunned by the sight before them. Unbelievable. Junior sister, the wailing of the whales. This is the highest grade of phenomena, and there are actually 3 white whales here. This indicates that there are at least 3 prodigies on the summit who may become martial saints in the future. It seems we're about to witness history. These words left Blue Hair dumbfounded. A martial saint is an apex existence in the world. Although the path to becoming a martial saint isn't solely determined by talent, this still sufficiently indicates the potential future of these individuals. After resting, Blue Hair's junior sister also prepares to start climbing the heavenly path to see if she can produce some special effects herself. Just then, Lu Sheng's super-fast figure flashed past them, and in a moment, he turned into a flowing shadow disappearing at the mountainside. Blue Hair was stunned for 2 seconds, just about to comment on the person's outrageous speed, but a dragon's roar brought him back to reality. Below the 3 white whales, a giant golden dragon slowly rose, with dragon roars piercing the sky. Yellow Hair trembled with fear at the scene. Is this possibly a divine dragon? This is the divine dragon ascending the summit, devouring all things. So the legend is true. A real dragon has really appeared in the world. After circling in the air a few times, the golden dragon hovered above Lu Sheng, moving as he moved. Lu Sheng found it odd. He had simply set out to climb the mountain casually, but as he ascended, a strange sensation began to well up inside him, as if he was the only person left between heaven and earth, with everyone else in a state of isolation. As he ran, his various natural breathing techniques began to operate on their own. He hadn't done anything special, just walked upwards, yet it felt as if his entire body's techniques were being drawn up by someone else. As he was about to reach the summit, the golden dragon charged towards the 3 white whales in front, and in just a moment, the 3 white whales were shattered and dispersed by the golden dragon. Lu Sheng was a bit stunned. Just now there were 3 white whales, and now there was also a golden dragon. Could this be some sort of welcoming ceremony they had arranged? The next moment, the golden dragon roared towards Lu Sheng, and then a golden light surged forward. At this moment, Lu Sheng felt a powerful impact, an assault on his martial arts spirit. Then, Lu Sheng charged towards the golden dragon in front and, wrapped around the dragon, reached the summit. At this moment, the entire arena was undoubtedly shocked by him, because the long wailing of the white whales caused by the extreme Wei twins and Zhang Yu of the Transcendence Martial Academy paled in comparison to him. The spectacle of thousands of waves gathering, a divine dragon ascending, and all things submitting was unmatched. An old man who had been on Cumulus Mountain for 100 years witnessed such a phenomenon for the first time and immediately instructed his disciples to find out who this striking young man was. The surrounding crowd was abuzz with discussion, but Lu Sheng seemed completely unfazed as he slowly approached. Such a heaven-defying spectacle was something they would only believe if they saw it with their own eyes. The next moment, the examinees were stunned, for they noticed that Lu Sheng was wearing the uniform of the 7th St. Martial University. What's going on? Can such a monster really come from the perennially useless 7th St. Martial University? Several martial saints who had climbed Cumulus Mountain in their youth managed to invoke only 1 or 2 white whales at best. How can this guy, with what merits and capabilities, transcend a martial saint by 100 times? This is absolutely impossible. At this point, a female disciple also remembered something. He seems to be the hidden genius of this year's 7th St. Martial University, the man who dominated the martial saint towers of all 7 universities. He is that Lu Sheng. The mere act of climbing the mountain and triggering such heavenly and earthly phenomena shocked all the instructors present, as this was a phenomenon not recorded in any known texts. No wonder, such talent is a bit too exaggerated. One whale already embodies the stature of a martial saint. Might he transcend martial saint one day? Hearing this, everyone was dumbfounded. What exists beyond a martial saint was unimaginable. At this moment, the Grandmaster of Transcendence Martial Arts Academy spoke up. It's not calculated like that, because just as water turns to ice with a decrease in temperature and vaporizes with an increase, sometimes the effects that seem worlds apart are essentially not that different. So, this young fellow named Lu Sheng is talented, but it's not as exaggerated as you all think, because the phenomena of Martial Saint Mountain are not specifically designed to test martial arts talent. Perhaps it's because his martial path destiny happens to be very similar to that of Martial Saint Zhou Hai, so it triggered a greater heavenly and earthly phenomenon than others. Or maybe many talents have already pulled on the threads of destiny before him, and this youngster just happened to fully activate the remaining destiny of Martial Saint Mountain, ultimately creating that stunning scene. Otherwise, according to what you say, is there something stronger than Martial Saint? Martial Saint is considered the heaven of this world. Do you think that's possible? Hearing Grandmaster Chi's analysis, everyone suddenly understood. Right, it's impossible for there to be an existence stronger than a Martial Saint. It's just like eating. You only feel full after the last bite. Although that said, it's undeniable that Lu Sheng indeed has an extraordinary aura, worthy of being someone Martial Saint Tan has noticed. The holy maiden watching Lu Sheng gave a meaningful smile, seemingly very curious about him. In the mountain hotel by evening, a large hand slammed the table to calm the others. Lian Ji Bei cursed, chiding the students for losing face. Look at you all. The other party just caused a little phenomenon, right? Lu Sheng isn't a grandmaster now. At best, he's just talented. You are the core elites of my Extreme Way Martial Arts Academy. Are you still afraid of a mere student from a martial university? Hearing the coach speak this way, everyone finally calmed down. One of the twins, Chao Kun, also said that even if Lu Sheng really has great talent, he is not yet a grandmaster. If he were to go all out and use secret techniques, Lu Sheng wouldn't be his match. Zhao Yu agreed with this approach, stating that if there's a chance, he would definitely crush Lu Sheng alive. Lian Ji Bei spoke with satisfaction. See, this is the spirit our Extreme Way twins should have. Saying this, Lian Ji Bei gave a wicked smile, proposing a small game for the two, which was to see who could encounter Lu Sheng first and beat him to death on live broadcast. As for dealing with the 7 Saint Martial Universities, he assured the twins that he would handle it, so they need not worry. In the rest room of the neighboring Transcendence Martial Arts Academy, a young girl was intently looking at her phone, which displayed a photo of Lu Sheng. As she gazed, her cheeks involuntarily flushed red. Just then, a man approached and asked, "Are you very concerned about Lu Sheng?" He then advised the girl not to focus too much on Lu Sheng because he felt that Lu Sheng's aura wasn't prominent, probably indicating that he hadn't even reached the phase of refining his martial will through his physical body. So, I don't think Lu Sheng could be a match for the Holy Maiden. Focus all your attention on the Extreme Way twins. They are the real challengers. 2 years ago, they already formed their Grandmaster wills, and by now they are likely already in the quasi-Grandmaster state. So, don't be deceived by phenomena. Lu Sheng might have great talent, but he is definitely not your match right now. Actually, the young girl had possessed the ability to see spirits since childhood. After seeing Lu Sheng ascend the mountain, she noticed a thick black fog enveloping the entire Martial Saint Mountain behind him. Later, in the hotel lobby, students from the 7 Saint Martial Universities were excitedly discussing Lu Sheng's power. Red hair from the 4th Saint Martial University, watching Lu Sheng in front of him, shivered with cold, grateful that he had not chosen to confront this demon king head-on. Otherwise, the martial confidence cultivated over 4 years of university would have been shattered on the spot. Beside him, Hat Guy mentioned that he was a living example, wondering just how strong Lu Sheng's vital energy and blood must be to sustain such heaven and earth phenomena. Now that Lu Sheng's martial will has taken shape, if I were to confront him again, I fear the outcome would be even worse than last time. Just then, a pair of hands clapped him on the shoulder, urging him not to be too self-deprecating. The speaker was the principal of the 4th largest school. He is strong. Let him be strong. Just focus on walking your own path well. The old principal indicated that our 7 universities are essentially one entity. There's no need to view Lu Sheng as an opponent. After all, this generation has the best chance of securing first place for our 7 Saint Martial Universities. I really hope this kid can make us proud. He is destined to transform into a dragon one day. While everyone was still caught up in excitement, only the vice principal had a worried look. He didn't understand how his hints could be so clearly missed. As long as Lu Sheng kills that Lian Yi, no matter how the Extreme Way Martial Academy reacts, Tan Martial Saint will shield you from everything. All Tan Martial Saint wants is your commitment. Lu Sheng, the path you're taking is ultimately the wrong one. Lu Sheng wouldn't care about these comments, just a Tan Zhongyu. He's not qualified to be my master. At that moment, Lu Sheng noticed that the energy from the golden dragon that had entered his body not only greatly increased his strength but also added a giant whale pattern. Could it be that it was absorbed then? If so, he decided to name it the power of the divine whale. Just then, Lu Sheng sensed a murderous aura behind him, and turning around, he saw it was Lian Ji Bei, that old viper. I haven't even started, and he's already targeting me. He's He's now a level 8 Great Grandmaster, and if I were to face him now, I'd have at most a 30% chance of winning. However, if I were to break through to Grandmaster right now, form a blood pill with my vital energy and blood, and enter the martial god state, I could probably kill Lian Ji Bei in less than 20 seconds. Lu Xing couldn't help but smirk, realizing the other party had started to target him. He decided to just wait quietly, letting the pre-written script unfold step by step. If anyone dared to interfere, he would crush them all. Meanwhile, a cameraman was frantically looking for a good shooting spot. Seeing the photographer so busy, Lu Xing casually asked, "Is it a live broadcast?" "Yes, the setup is almost done. Unfortunately, we arrived too late. I heard there was a magnificent phenomenon just a while ago, but there are 2 days of competition left. We might still see something." Just then, a voice hushed the entire venue. The speaker was Jiang Yi from up front, this year's chief organizer standing in for Tan Zhongyu. The National Martial Arts Competition officially began. The matches would be determined by a draw, and soon everyone had their match numbers in hand. Meanwhile, Lu Xing's match number was 0135. Who could his opponent be this time? Just then, a yellow-haired guy cautiously asked from behind, "Excuse me, are you Lu Xing?" As Lu Xing looked puzzled, the boy introduced himself as a student from Eastern Peace Martial Arts University, basically a fellow townsman. "I've long heard the great name of Lu Xing, and seeing you today, you truly stand out. I dared to strike up a conversation today because my cheerleader juniors said they know you." Seeing this, Lu Xing quickly smiled and waved. "Ah, it's Pikachu and you guys. Indeed, it's been a long time." Pikachu was thrilled to be greeted by Lu Xing. "Indeed, very powerful. Now, just being in his presence, I feel it's hard to breathe. The pressure is immense. Setting aside the heavenly and earthly phenomena from this morning, I feel that for the first time in my life, I look up to someone of my age as someone I cannot transcend." Seeing the two knowing Lu Xing, all the surrounding students showed envy and encouraged them to maintain this relationship. Who knows what benefits it could bring in 10 or 20 years? How to maintain? Maintain what? There is no longer just a gap between us, but an unbridgeable chasm. Jiang Yi slowly spoke up about several martial arts gym participants who hadn't arrived, hence several match numbers, including Lu Xing's 0135, would automatically advance due to buys. Well, that saves the trouble of climbing onto the stage. Let's just watch the strength of this year's participants from below. Above were multiple stages in simultaneous action, but only photographers and referees could freely move around there. The rule was that if you were forced out of the 20 square meter stage or surrendered, you lost. Next to them, a small teen was fervently cheering on their senior brother, and Lu Xing also thought their senior brother was quite strong. "Wow, senior brother is so impressive. This year our martial arts hall can definitely make it into the top 100. But the fallen yellow hair appeared unconvinced. The judge comforted him not to feel too bad, noting that these martial arts gym disciples were already among the best in university and had further honed their skills after graduation, surpassing us in both talent and time spent training. Yellow hair, undeterred, spat disdainfully, claiming that if anyone his age dared to face him, they wouldn't stand a chance. But Lu Xing felt that a loss is a loss. Many people like to use age or training time as excuses, but the fact is that in a life or death battle, your opponent won't care about your age and hold back. The strong never make excuses, and the dictionary of the truly strong doesn't include failure. Martial arts disciples have an age advantage when facing martial university students, but martial university students have a superior martial training environment because they have access to various resources within the university, whereas martial arts disciples must secure their resources on their own. This is probably why the age limit has been extended to 30 years. The first round of the competition ended quickly, and the next round was set to start with match number 0135 Lu Xing against 0247 Jiang Yuan. But just as he was about to enter the ring, Jiang Yuan suddenly collapsed to the ground, declaring his surrender. This completely baffled Lu Xing, who was just stepping onto the stage. At that moment, Jiang Yuan trembled and muttered, "Am I crazy? Me, fight the Demon King?" Bai Hengchuan himself was so frightened by one punch that his martial will almost collapsed. Since the second round still couldn't start, Lu Xing was getting frustrated, and his anger made those nearby tremble in fear. At this time, Lian Ji Bei's snake-like gaze fixed on Lu Xing, as he had just learned through insider information that the 3S mission Lu Xing was undertaking was to kill his own son. After 2 hours of thrilling matches, the third round finally began. Platform number 4, Lu Xing stretched his muscles, hoping there would be no mix-ups this time. However, outside the ring, Lu Xing was blocked by a crowd and couldn't squeeze through. In response, he emitted a burst of purple psychic energy, scaring a path through the crowd of students. An irate spectator disapproved of Lu Xing's method, prompting Lu Xing to land a left hook on the man's waist, sending him flying back, tongue out, to collapse unconscious on the steps. These youngsters are so impulsive, starting with fierce energy right away. Remember, you struck first. During the third round, Lu Xing waited on the platform for 2 minutes, but his opponent was nowhere to be seen. Jiang He then shouted, "Jiang Wang from the Southern Dragon Martial Arts School, it's your turn to come on stage, otherwise it will be considered a forfeiture." At that moment, a student from the audience shouted in surprise. The guy Lu Xing Sheng just knocked out was Jiang Wang. Oh, what a coincidence. Another half hour passed, and the third round was almost at its end, nearing the selection of the top 100 competitors. As the fourth round began, Lu Sheng continued his streak of knocking out opponents with a single punch. Members of the Sea Dragon Martial Arts School commented on Lu Sheng's strength, noting that Yu Jinghong, who was among the top 20 in the last competition, couldn't even make a single move against him. If it were you against him, you probably wouldn't stand a chance either. Red Hair suggests a trial attempt, but if all else fails, I would resort to my last ace. Although that move was custom made by your master specifically to counter the Extreme Wei twins and Zhang Yu from Transcendence, using it on Lu Sheng now wouldn't be a loss. You still have a chance to make the top 4. Standing on the balcony, the three people continually watched Lu Sheng, and Lian Ji Bei hadn't expected Lu Sheng to actually have some substance. But this is good. If it were only Zhang Yu from Transcendence Martial Arts School, the pressure at this competition would be too small for you. Lu Sheng, this excellent whetstone, might just help you advance to Grandmaster, as the two from Extreme Wei displayed extremely greedy and lewd expressions. Perhaps at this moment, only Zhang Yu from Transcendence Martial Arts School could truly sense the dread of Lu Sheng. Seeing his junior sister elevating Lu Sheng so highly, Yellow Hair, the senior brother, immediately responded, while Lu Sheng is strong, he's at best on the level of the Extreme Wei twins, perhaps even less. What, sister, don't you have confidence? No, that's just the spectacle seen by ordinary people. I possess a unique sense of awareness. In my eyes, I can clearly perceive the danger Lu Sheng poses. Now, I just hope to face him at the very end, where conceding might not look too bad. Another 2 hours passed, and Jiang He announced that the 7th round was about to begin. This round would determine who advances into the top 10 nationwide. Lu Sheng was up first again in this round, and he heard that his opponent, Wang Xin, also graduated from the 7th St. Martial University, practically making him a senior brother. Lu Sheng considered whether to be a bit more gentle in the upcoming match. Wang Xin hadn't expected to face Lu Sheng in the 7th round, but remembering his secret technique made him less nervous. However, using it here meant no chance for the top 3. The corpulent referee shouted, "Start." Lu Sheng let his opponent make the first move, as a gesture of respect to a senior. Feeling provoked, Wang Xin retorted, "Before I graduated, I held the top spot on the 7 Saints list for 2 years." Lu Sheng gave him a thumbs up. "That's really impressive. Make sure to give it your all later." This scene completely dazzled the audience below. Wang Xin used the secret technique, blood ignition, which could boost his strength by 50% for a short period, but he wouldn't be able to exert force again for a month after using it. As Wang Xin executed the blood ignition savage blade tri-strike, his blade surged forward like a crescent moon. Seeing this, the corpulent host shouted, "Oh no, trouble's coming." But just as the blade came within 1 centimeter of Lu Sheng caught the long blade between 2 fingers. Lu Sheng's azure aura surged. "Didn't I tell you to go all out?" As he spoke, he punched Wang Xin, sending him flying dozens of meters away. Wang Xin lay on the ground, severely injured and barely alive. Even an eagle strikes a rabbit with all its might. How do you not even understand this basic principle? Alright, I'll give you another chance. Use whatever secret techniques you have to unleash your potential. Any remarkable moves you've got. Which eye of yours saw me not giving my all? I even used my secret trump card. With that, Wang Xin passed out, and Lu Sheng won the match. Lu Sheng had intended to go easy, but a light punch had unexpectedly knocked out his opponent. Lu Sheng was puzzled. What happened? He passed out just like that. Did I hit too hard? I barely used any force, and I didn't even bring out the stellar force. Well, it doesn't matter. The intention was clear. I gave him a chance, but if he chose to hold back and didn't give his all, he can't blame anyone else for losing. At this point, the audience from Sea Dragon Martial Arts School watched in disbelief. Wang Xin was their candidate to compete against the Extreme Wei twins and Transcendence Zhang Yu. While they could accept a loss, since in martial arts there's always someone better, they couldn't fathom that he didn't even withstand a single punch from Lu Sheng. What level of strength did Lu Sheng possess? And what did Lu Sheng's final words mean? Was it mockery? How infuriating. Seeing the referee standing dumbfounded, Lu Sheng urged the referee to quickly announce the results of the match. Number 0135. Lu Sheng wins and advances to the finals. The referee had been so shocked that he had frozen in place. Originally thinking of stopping Wang Xin's powerful move, Lu Sheng swatted him down like a mosquito. What kind of extraordinary plus students have appeared in this edition? At this moment, the loudest cheers were undoubtedly from the 7th St. Martial University. The students below were shouting at the top of their lungs, "Demon King, Demon King." This was the most prestigious moment for the 7th St. Martial University in many editions. Even if Lu Sheng just sat there doing nothing, he could still make a bunch of girls swoon. However, hearing the title Demon King, Lu Sheng felt it was too much of a teenage fantasy. Now, in the spectator stands, everyone was whispering about his control-level boxing skills, his unparalleled physical strength, and how he had knocked out Wang Xin, previously among the top 3, without even using fierce energy. Looking at this, even the Extreme Wei twins wouldn't stand a chance against Lu Sheng. Not necessarily. After all, the Extreme Wei twins are no ordinary people. Who knows how much they've grown in these 2 years? Jiang He told everyone to stop guessing. As all all will be revealed tomorrow. Truly worthy of being a seedling chosen by Tan Zhongyu martial saint, indeed a being that defies common logic. Meanwhile, the Extreme Wei twins, having heard some insider information from somewhere, learned that Wang Xin had been overconfident this time and hadn't used his full strength. What a fool. We were just starting to pay some attention to him. But this is good. The brighter Lu Xing's halo shines, the more dazzling our own will be when we defeat him. While everyone was busy discussing, only Zhang Yu was trembling because she noticed that the shadow around Lu Xing seemed to be spreading even further. As night fell, Lu Xing felt that today's matches ended too quickly, even without a proper warm-up, and hoped that tomorrow's matches would be more exciting, especially looking forward to what it would feel like to take down a great Grandmaster. Just then, several notifications sounded. Come to think of it, he hadn't even checked today's message yet. Awesome, bro, you're on TV again. Aim to bring home another national first place. Lu Xing had apparently forgotten that today's competition was being broadcast nationwide, so he reminded his sister to ensure their parents don't watch tomorrow's live broadcast. If you truly wish for mom and dad's well-being. When his sister asked why, Lu Xing didn't know how to respond, but he honestly told her that he didn't want their parents to see him killing someone. After sending this message, he sighed deeply, then quickly added that he was just kidding because there might be bloodshed in tomorrow's match, and he didn't want to worry their parents. His earlier words indeed startled his innocent sister, making her think that Lu Xing was going to kill someone tomorrow. Even if she prevented their parents from watching the live broadcast, they would find a way to watch the recorded version. Thinking of this, Lu Xing smiled wryly, realizing that since he couldn't stop his parents from watching, he would have to stop the broadcast itself. And with the moon shining beautifully, Lu Xing decided to go out for a walk. At the same time, outside, Zhang Yu was complaining about the freezing weather, nearly 20 degrees below zero. However, the stars were clear and bright. Even the Milky Way was visible. Just then, a pair of large feet slowly approached from behind, startling her into petrification. Do people always run off at the sight of me? Am I that scary? Even though the names in the spouse section of my dream database keep increasing, why does it seem like my luck with the opposite sex is always so bad? The fleeing Zhang Yu, gasping for breath, crouched nearby, stealthily peeking because she saw that Lu Xing's black mist was even more terrifying than during the day. Zhang Yu was shocked. What kind of sorcery is Lu Xing wielding that his black mist can even obscure the sun, moon, and stars? At a banquet before the finals, Lu Xing's eating prowess truly frightened the cafeteria ladies. Meanwhile, Lu Xing turned his head and was surprised to find Zhang Yu still sneaking glances at him, unsure of her intentions. I know I'm handsome, but this is a bit much, isn't it? Ahead, Bai Chuan from the 4th St. Martial University was being teased by a few students from Extreme Wei Martial University, including one of the Extreme Wei twins, Chao Kun, who boldly declared, if we meet during the match, I'll give you a thrill. Hearing this, Bai Chuan broke out in a cold sweat, aware of the rumors that almost everyone who faces him ends up severely injured or worse. Chao Kun chuckled lasciviously, admitting he sometimes found it hard to control the intensity of his blows. However, this group dared to block the path of Lu Xing, the king of dining, who didn't care and just walked forward. Excuse me, please let me through. Who the hell is blind enough to bump into me? When he realized it was the handsome Lu Xing, Chao Kun became even more excited. Even you, Lu Xing, will kneel down and call me daddy. Admit defeat now and you might avoid some bruises. Lu Xing grabbed Chao Kun by the neck with one hand and asked him what he said, and Chao Kun could only cough awkwardly, feeling as though his life was completely in someone else's grasp. Lu Xing coldly said, try waving your hands in front of me again. At this moment, Chao Kun started seeing his life flash before his eyes, foaming at the mouth, tears and snot streaming, feeling like he was about to die. Just then, a loud voice shouted, stop. Suddenly, Lian Ji Bei jumped forward rapidly and burst forth with a powerful aura. The finals of the martial arts tournament haven't started yet. If you want to be disqualified, go ahead and try something. Having vented his anger, Lu Xing let go and explained that he was just joking and asked Coach Lian not to mind. Chao Kun, squatting on the ground, coughed up blood and spewed out expletives at Lu Xing. However, Lu Xing simply smiled and patted Chao Kun on the shoulder, saying, your neck is very pretty. You should go home to your mom. Even Lian Ji Bei couldn't stand the embarrassing scene and hurriedly urged Chao Kun to go back. Chao Kun, nervous and stuttering, claimed it was just an accident, and even someone as dull as him knew that Lian Ji Bei was angry. Lian Ji Bei cares a lot about his reputation, more so than his student being beaten. He was more concerned about Chao Kun embarrassing their Extreme Wei Martial Academy. Meanwhile, the surrounding audience was abuzz with comments. Chao Kun, usually so formidable in front of them and one of the feared Extreme Wei twins, seemed unable to resist at all in front of Lu Xing. How strong is this Lu Xing really? Could it be that he has already advanced to Grandmaster? Although Lu Xing was on the verge of losing his temper and wanted to attack Lian Ji Bei, starting a fight here might turn him into a wanted criminal and endanger his family, so he decided to wait. That day was fast approaching. Soon, in the Extreme Wei Martial Academy's resting room, Chao Kun was frantically apologizing, claiming he had been careless and didn't anticipate Lu Xing's sneak attack, which led to his quick defeat. Unexpectedly, this statement drew wild mockery from another member of the Extreme Wei twins. You deadbeat, say that one more time and see what happens. Yo, got bullied outside and now you're taking it out on your own people? At that moment, Lian Ji Bei interrupted. You need to figure out how to wash away the shame you've brought on Extreme Way. Chao Kun fervently made a promise to the retreating figure of Lian Ji Bei. Coach, please rest assured, I will not make the same mistake twice. The final competition officially commenced. Before the match, several vice principals approached Lu Xing for a quiet word. The Extreme Way twins have dominated several martial arts tournaments. Their strength should not be underestimated. Even though you've gained some advantage beforehand, don't let your guard down during the match. Watching Lu Xing's figure as he took the stage, the vice principals smiled to each other. It looks like this year, it might finally be our turn to win the championship. Vice Principal Zhao could only hope for the best now. They had reached the stage, and it was unclear how Lu Xing would explain himself to Tan Martial Saint later. The 8th round was to start with each competitor heading to the arena to draw their opponent's name. However, Lu Xing soon sensed something fishy about the draw, because the final match of the 8th round turned out to be Seven Saints Martial University's Lu Xing versus Extreme Way Martial Academy's Chao Kun. Even the bystanders couldn't believe such a coincidence. It seemed Lu Xing's draw was tampered with, but considering how Lu Xing had effortlessly defeated Chao Kun with a single move this morning, the odds of victory seemed high. Yet some spectators disagreed, attributing this morning's quick defeat to a sudden sneak attack by Lu Xing. Watching Chao Kun raging helplessly below the stage, Lu Xing pondered for a couple of seconds, then responded with a light smile, infuriating Chao Kun even more. At that moment, Jiang He intervened, instructing unauthorized personnel to leave the arena as the first match was set to begin. Martial University's Bai Hengchuan versus another Extreme Way twin, Sky Pole star Zhao Yu. The principal advised Bai Hengchuan to not be too nervous and to do his best. Bai Hengchuan approached the stage with a grim face, well aware of Zhao Yu's formidable reputation. This was certainly going to be a tough battle. Lu Xing casually told Bai Hengchuan to just go for it and not be afraid. Damn, is Lu Xing actually concerned about me? The next moment, Lu Xing turned to add, if you get killed, I'll avenge you. Hearing this, Bai Hengchuan internally screamed in frustration, but given his lack of strength compared to his opponent, he could only outwardly thank Lu Xing for his concern. Lu Xing responded that there was no need for thanks as they were all students of the Martial University. Facing one of the Extreme Way twins, Bai Hengchuan was giving his all, knowing a moment's inattention could be fatal. The audience was filled with anticipation for this match. As soon as the fight started, Zhao Yu began a barrage of taunts, mocking Bai Hengchuan as trash. Bai Hengchuan doesn't waste any words and charges forward, but Zhao Yu easily dodges. Bai Hengchuan continued swinging his sword in rapid rotations, but his lightning-fast blade strikes still couldn't keep up with Zhao Yu's speed. Although Bai Hengchuan knew he was outmatched, he didn't expect the gap to be so vast. His best efforts hadn't even touched his opponent. The crowd was also shocked by Zhao Yu's agility, suspecting that he must be nearing the control state to exhibit such terrifying skills. With no other option left, Bai Hengchuan resorted to his ultimate move. Since you're so good at dodging, try this, he declared, lifting his sword and spitting out, come on, Extreme Ice Seal. As he invoked the powerful ice spell, the ground and Zhao Yu were entirely engulfed in ice. Bai Hengchuan looked up triumphantly. Looks like it worked. But before he could relish the moment, Zhao Yu's figure vanished. It turned out that Bai Hengchuan had only trapped a decoy. Before Bai Hengchuan could recover from his shock, several figures attacked from behind, eliciting a terrible scream from him. What a fool, so easily tricked. Bai Hengchuan collapsed, unconscious. Staff members quickly rushed to check on him, finding that his injuries were severe, 4 broken ribs and nearly every limb fractured. Despite this, Zhao Yu continued to deride Bai Hengchuan from the stage, scoffing at his inability to withstand even a single strike. Zhao then turned his attention to Lu Xing, muttering, you're next, Lu Xing. Lu Xing knelt beside Bai Hengchuan. You really went through a lot. It's a pity you weren't injured more severely, then I'd have a reason to kill him. Bai Hengchuan looked up at Lu Xing with admiration, sensing a powerful presence swirling inside him like a mighty golden dragon. As Bai Hengchuan pondered the nature of Lu Xing's golden dragon, the second match of the finals officially began. This battle features Transcendence Martial Academy's Zhang Yu against Flame Dragon Martial Academy's Peng Hong. As soon as the match starts, Zhang Yu begins with her eyes closed, misleading her opponent about her combat potential given her delicate appearance. Suddenly, her eyes snap open and her aura skyrockets dramatically. It turns out, Zhang Yu is a fearsome mind weaver. Peng Hong's body erupts with electricity, steel fortification technique. However, his technique stands no chance against her formidable psychic abilities. He quickly finds himself begging for mercy, calling her sister and ultimately surrendering, securing Zhang Yu's victory. The terrifying aura she displayed even shocked the nearby referees. Her psychic power is estimated to be at level 4, quite impressive indeed, holding about 20% of my strength. Meanwhile, Zhang Yu notices Lu Xing watching her and suddenly dashes away, covering 50 meters in a single step. Why does every girl run when they see me? Could it be that my appearance is too intimidating? Lu Xing wonders, noticing similarities with another character, Xiaolin, who also flees upon seeing him. The final match of the day is set set between 7th St. Martial University's Lu Sheng and Extreme Wei Martial Academy's Chao Kun. Even before stepping onto the stage, Chao Kun's coarse voice can be heard making rude remarks. This match is highly anticipated as the day's highlight, expected to be thrilling given the similar skill levels of the two fighters. Unlike previous matches that ended too quickly due to disparities in strength, Lu Sheng effortlessly hops onto the stage with one hand. Here I am, bro, finally my turn. Seeking to reclaim his dignity, Chao Kun decides to start by intimidating his opponent psychologically. He immediately cites Rule 32 to Lu Sheng. If an opponent is accidentally killed during the match, under reasonable circumstances, no liability is incurred. So, Lu Sheng, do you get what I'm implying? Okay, let's start already. The referee wisely scoots aside, wary of getting caught in their crossfire. Next, Lu Sheng begins doing the National Middle School radio calisthenics. Tell Chao Kun to show all his tricks now. Transform if he needs to, so he won't complain about unfairness after losing. Chao Kun unleashes his strongest technique, Demon Extreme State, which allows him to briefly boost his combat power by dozens of times. He then launches himself at Lu Sheng in a frenzied state. Lu Sheng is both bewildered and oddly familiar with this. Why does this feel so familiar? In the last tournament, he swept through the competition using just the first form, acclaimed as the strongest below the Grandmaster level. Now having advanced to the second layer, just how terrifying must he be? Although Zhang Yu can tell that Chao Kun is powerful now, something about his aura feels off, not quite human, reminiscent of an exotic beast. The vice principals suddenly stand up. How is this possible? He's emitting an aura akin to that of a Grandmaster. This is bad. Lu Sheng might be in danger. Lu Sheng also senses that something is odd about this aura. Although it seems stronger than a near Grandmaster, there's something off about it. Could it be that he is a mutant martial artist? Beside them, Lian Ji Bei laughs. Now let you all witness the terror of Extreme Wei. Haha, Chao Kun, you really steal the spotlight. Lu Sheng is yours. I'll take Zhang Yu then. Just after transforming, Chao Kun starts trash-talking Lu Sheng, urging him not to even think about surrendering. Then, countless fists appear in front of Chao Kun. His special technique, the martial illusion fist. The attack turns into an energy tornado flying towards Lu Sheng, startling everyone in the audience. This is no longer a match, it's a direct attempt on his life. On seeing this, Jiang He shouts for the assistants to prepare safety measures. Chao Kun, furious, advances towards Lu Sheng. Lu Sheng, I want you dead. The tremors in the arena also shake the spectator stands, and the audience is terrified by Chao Kun's power. Seeing this, Lian Ji Bei smirks slightly. Now, Lu Sheng is done for. Even a Grandmaster would surely die from this. As the smoke clears, Lian Ji Bei and others are shocked because even at his most powerful, Chao Kun's strongest attack did absolutely nothing to Lu Sheng. Who could believe this? Lu Sheng slowly speaks up. What? Is that all? Don't you have a third, fourth, or even stronger trump card? Chao Kun was completely flustered by Lu Sheng's question. So you've got nothing left, huh? Petrified by Lu Sheng, Chao Kun kept retreating. Hey, I heard you're called the Extreme Wei Demon Extreme Star. Then check out my punch called Exploding Star Fist. At this moment, Chao Kun had completely lost his previous momentum, trembling as he looked up, while Lu Sheng's fist, large as a sandbag and fiery like a deity, loomed above Chao Kun. Lian Ji Bei and others couldn't sit still anymore and shouted for them to stop. Chao Kun, with a face like death, knelt before Lu Sheng, his body's meridians ruptured and on the verge of death. Lian Ji Bei, furious, flew towards the center of the arena. Lu Sheng, you bastard, how dare you try to kill my disciple? As Lian Ji Bei's fist was about to strike, several vice principals jointly blocked his attack. At this point, the conflict seemed to have escalated significantly. One of the vice principals urgently reprimanded Lian Ji Bei. What do you think you're doing? Just as the situation was about to explode, Jiang He stepped in to stop both parties. Everyone here is above the level of a Grandmaster. What does it look like? Intervening in a student's affairs, Lian Ji Bei accused Lu Sheng of intentionally killing someone, specifically a future rising brightness of the Extreme Wei Martial Arts School. As he spoke, Chao Kun coughed lightly while medical staff rushed to the scene. The vice principal said, there's always some friction in competition, and since your person is okay, let's leave this matter behind. At this point, Lian Ji Bei couldn't erupt in rage on the spot, but a vicious plan started forming in his mind. Thus, the victory in this match is awarded to Lu Sheng of the 7th St. Martial University. The audience was astounded, shocked by Lu Sheng's formidable strength. Some said that Lu Sheng's abilities had reached the level of a Grandmaster, otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to block the second layer of the Demon Extreme State. Others argued that Lu Sheng hadn't yet reached the Grandmaster level, otherwise, he wouldn't have hidden behind the vice principal and must have just used fierce energy to block Chao Kun's attack. From this battle, it appears that Lu Sheng is already the champion of the tournament, and any further matches would just be formalities. At only 18 years old, he is truly terrifying. This also signifies that the era dominated by the Extreme Wei twins has ended, and a new era under the reign of the Demon King Lu Sheng is beginning. Back in the audience seats, the vice principal called to Lu Sheng, there's no bloodless struggle in martial arts. As long as it wasn't intentional, it's not your fault. Don't overthink it. If someone dies, it's because their skills were inferior. The school will will support you against the pressure. There isn't only one level 9 extreme way martial saint in this world. Lu Xing, trembling, replied, is that so? Then I'm relieved. The vice principal never expected that someone as strong as Lu Xing would still feel fear when facing a real Grandmaster. If someone truly understands and does not fear the majesty of a Grandmaster, that would be 1 in 10,000. Yet, Lu Xing is exceptionally talented, and it's too much to ask for him to also possess such courage and character. It's a pity, though, because to become a disciple of a martial saint, being outstanding isn't enough, which is really regrettable for Lu Xing. At this moment, however, Lu Xing was internally laughing, quite pleased with his own performance. But soon it will be the final part of the plan, to have Lian Ji Bei died by my hands. Surely, he would wake up laughing in his coffin. Soon, the drawing for the semi-finals of the 9th round began. Only 4 contestants remain, with the weakest, Deng Rui from Heaven and Earth Martial Academy, hoping to draw the little lowly Zhang Yu. After all, he got to the final mostly by sheer luck. Both Chao Qing and Lu Xing are tough opponents. Only Zhang Yu is like a normal person, not only cute but also moderate in her attacks. If she accidentally hits too hard, she even sends someone to apologize. Truly a perfect little angel of martial arts. Indeed, luck is also a part of strength, and things turned out just as he wished. The second match was Chao Qing against Lu Xing. Chao Qing, don't worry, you still have time to buy some insurance, and if you don't have any, I can recommend a couple of good ones. A friend of mine just died, and his insurance paid out the next day. Already nervous, Chao Qing quickly brushed off Lu Xing's hand. Yo, why so nervous? If I kill you, wouldn't your Extreme Way Martial Academy's great Grandmaster Lian Ji Bei have to kill me? Chao Qing trembled as he spoke. Good that you know. Also, do you think I'm a waste like Chao Kun? Lu Xing laughed. Of course not. I think you're even more of a waste than Chao Kun. After the mockery, Lu Xing waved and walked away. Afterwards, Chao Qing immediately went to tattle to Lian Ji Bei, no doubt embellishing his story. Upon hearing it, Lian Ji Bei set out to tear Lu Xing apart with his own hands. From seeking help behind the vice principal to the recent mockery of Chao Qing, all of this was within Lu Xing's plan. Because to kill Lian Ji Bei, it must be justified, making everyone believe it was deserved. After all, it's because I'm not strong enough that I need to be cautious and operate within the rules set by others. If I were strong enough, I could completely ignore all influences, and no one would care if I killed someone like Lian Ji Bei, who deserves death anyway. True power is about breaking the rules, setting new ones, and then using those rules. After all, saving humanity from martial arts disasters can't be achieved by someone who just follows the rules. I must strive to become stronger. Soon, the first match between Zhang Yu and Deng Rui officially began. After 5 minutes of fighting, Zhang Yu won. Although Deng Rui lost, managing to save face in front of these monsters felt like a win for him. As the next match approached, Jiang He quietly worried about potential complications, since neither competitor was easy to handle. But for the audience, it was exciting. They heard that Chao Kun's spine was almost broken by Lu Xing, thankfully rescued in time. These extreme weight twins deserved it, having paralyzed many each year and severing their martial arts, all suppressed by the might of the extreme way martial saint. And it's said they have more than just these dirty deeds. Seems like it's true what they say. Scoundrels naturally grind down other scoundrels. Lu Xing is set to fight Chao Qing. It seems like Chao Qing won't be able to manage his bathroom visits alone anymore. If he gets crippled, he might as well change his name to Crippled Star. Faced with everyone's taunts, Chao Qing has no mood to respond, because as a member of the Extreme Way Twins, he has never feared anyone except those above Grandmaster level. Usually, he's the one who exerts pressure on others, but why does he feel such fear facing a peer of the same level now? As he was distracted, Lu Xing called out to Chao Qing that it was time for him to take his beating on the stage. But Chao Qing couldn't show weakness, at least not verbally. Hey, Lu Xing, you still have time to grab a cold weapon now. Don't say later that I bullied you. Hearing this, Lu Xing's eyes gleamed as he spoke in a low voice. Do you really want to die that badly? Faced with Lu Xing's sudden imposing aura, Chao Qing instantly backed down. Pfft, all bark and no bite. Let's get on the stage. I don't believe you're that strong. At this moment, the audience is in an uproar. Chao Qing is still wondering how Lu Xing will attack, thinking he can dodge whatever comes his way. But the next moment, Chao Qing is dumbfounded because Lu Xing is just standing there quietly, making no move to attack. Moreover, Chao Qing can feel that just by standing there, Lu Xing exudes a terrifying presence that permeates the air, leaving him no room for escape. The next second, Chao Qing psyched himself up. If Lu Xing wasn't going to come at him, he'd take the initiative and break the pace. Saying this, Chao Qing launched himself like a rocket toward Lu Xing, and Chao Qing immediately drew his sword, his body bursting into flames as he unleashed his ultimate move, Stellar Poke. This move dazzled the audience. What a stunning strike. Even the vice-chancellors couldn't help but exclaim, admitting they'd struggle to handle such a sword thrust themselves. The next moment, Jiang He gasped because Lu Xing's figure had vanished. At the same time, Chao Qing's sword shattered. Chao Qing had never imagined his proud strike would end like this. The next second, Lu Xing stood behind him, taunting, sorry about breaking your dagger, but you're just too slow. Chao Qing turned around, and Lu Xing's figure disappeared again, then reappeared surrounded by a massive blue aura engulfing Chao Qing, nearly nearly breaking his morale. "You're still too slow." Chao Qing was nearly driven mad. Then, Chao Qing covered his ears and knelt down, realizing he couldn't even see Lu Shen. Just then, Lu Shen grabbed him from behind, lifting him up. "Hey, are you here to be funny? Have you lost your nerve already? Ready to give up? Let me go." Gale winds. Facing the onslaught of slicing winds, Lu Shen chuckled. "You call this wind?" Lu Shen then released Chao Qing, and in the moment Chao Qing started spouting trash talk again, he vanished once more. This disappearance felt as though he was still right there, but because of his extreme speed, he was invisible to the eye. Chao Qing looked around wildly. In the next moment, multiple afterimages of Lu Shen appeared before him. The audience was stupefied. So many afterimages indicated an incredible speed. Speaking, countless afterimages of Lu Shen had already surrounded Chao Qing, and Lu Shen kept taunting him, saying that if Chao Qing could touch him, it would count as Chao Qing's win. The vice-chancellor watched this scene in disbelief, because the nature of afterimages is a visual residue, a phenomenon caused by the eye receiving signals before the visual memory fades. He thought that producing 5 or 6 afterimages in a short time was already impressive, but Lu Shen's display was truly terrifying. Chao Qing angrily swatted at the afterimages, repeatedly shouting, "Fake, it's all fake." At this moment, his sanity was starting to fray. He believed there was only one real figure, and he was sure he could find it. But just then, Lu Shen's hand rested on Chao Qing's head, murmuring, "Crescent divine wind." Ultimately, Chao Qing lay on the ground with his limbs broken. This counted as avenging by Hong Chuan. The referee then announced the match was won by 7th St. Martial University's Lu Shen. The crowd was still abuzz, wondering who could beat such a formidable person at his level. Red-haired brother watched Lu Shen and couldn't help worrying about Zhang Yu's upcoming match. As Jiang Yi began announcing the next match between Zhang Yu and Lu Shen, Zhang Yu quickly stood up and raised her hand to declare her defeat. After just one glance at Lu Shen, she fled the scene in fear. "It's really strange. This girl runs away every time she sees me." But in Zhang Yu's eyes, Lu Shen was like a dark source, a monster lurking in the shadows. Fighting him would be a fool's errand. Just out of treatment, Bai Hongchuan didn't expect the finals to end so abruptly. But who could argue? After all, it was 7 St. Martial Universities that had won the championship. This time, our 7 St. Martial Universities in martial arts could finally hold our heads high. Half an hour later, Jiang Yi's declaration, this National College martial arts competition finally concluded perfectly. In another female dormitory, there was a frenzy of shouting, "Wow, Yang Yuan, look, your boyfriend won the championship. He's so handsome." Yang Yuan responded shyly, "He's not my boyfriend, just a classmate." Yet, as she saw him standing at the pinnacle, her heart genuinely rejoiced for Lu Shen. Meanwhile, his little sister was dancing with joy by the TV. "Yay, yay, big brother is the champion of the National Martial Arts Competition." Lu's dad excitedly picked up his phone, ready to call relatives and friends to go out for a celebratory meal. However, his daughter urged the parents to hold off. Big brother's award ceremony hasn't started yet. It's his shining moment now. Inside Eastern Peace Martial University, pink-haired Jing Dandan was watching Lu Shen's glorious moment. Green hair tried to get pink hair to let go of Lu Shen, arguing that Lu Shen, now at such heights, was no longer from our world. But the lovesick pink hair said that it was fine this way. She could still see news about Lu Shen and even send messages to him, although he wouldn't see them or reply. Inside the Eastern Military District, Instructor Qin excitedly exclaimed, "Damn, Lu Shen is awesome. The chief commander is going to be thrilled. His investment in those bits of beast marrow liquid really paid off." Dong Qingxue argued it might not be certain. Although Lu Shen had promised to join the Eastern Military District immediately after graduation, and he wasn't the type to be ungrateful, what if he couldn't make it? Don't forget who was behind the 7 St. Martial Universities. Marshal St. Tan Zhongyu has had his eyes on Lu Shen for a long time, and it's likely that he will officially announce taking Lu Shen as his disciple after this competition. Can the chief commander's influence really outmatch a martial saint's? Instructor Qin was thoroughly disappointed, initially thinking that he would soon be heading to battle alongside Lu Shen. However, Dong Qingxue assured that such a day would come, as Area 85 had discovered new dungeon fissures, and they needed to head out for a mission immediately. But in the next moment, Dong Qingxue was shocked, because at that time, Lu Shen was raising his hand and loudly proclaiming, "I challenge Grandmaster Lian Ji Bei. In fact, I came to this competition to appreciate the skills of the many experts and to temper my martial arts spirit." Pointing to the audience below, he expressed his disappointment with the contestants. "All the competitors here are trash, especially the Extreme Way Martial Academy. What a disappointment. The so-called Extreme Way twins that you were all so hopeful about are just rubbish. They haven't even learned a bit of the Extreme Way heritage. Extreme Way Martial Academy, I think it's all just a facade." With each taunt, Lian Ji Bei below the stage became so enraged that veins were throbbing, and he wanted to tear up Lu Shen right there. Unable to contain himself, Lian Ji Bei asked Lu Shen what he meant. "I mean nothing by it. I came here intending to use the strong fighters of Extreme Way to temper my martial will to break through the Grandmaster level, but I didn't expect your Extreme Way twins to be so weak. Therefore, I want to challenge the peak Grandmaster of Extreme Way, Lian Ji Bei." Here, upon hearing this, the expression expression on everyone's face across the nation contorted. Everyone knew Lian Ji Bei was at the peak of Grandmaster level, a level 6 challenging a peak Grandmaster. What's going on? Has Lu Xing gone mad, or does he no longer care for his own life? From Dong Qingshua's perspective, it might be possible to guess Lu Xing's intention. Perhaps Lu Xing wanted to use a Grandmaster as a blade to pierce through the final barrier. If he succeeds, he would become the first Grandmaster under the age of 20 in the history of Dragon Nation. After Lu Xing spoke, Lian Ji Bei eagerly jumped onto the martial platform. Lu Xing, you're arrogant enough, but remember not to let me beat you to death later. Lu Xing declared that life and death were fated on the platform, and he asked that Grandmaster Lian not hold back. The vice-chancellors below the stage were puzzled. If Lu Xing wanted a Grandmaster for sparring, any of us could have sparred with him. Why did he specifically choose Lian Ji Bei? Could it be he's afraid we wouldn't go all out, so only Lian Ji Bei would truly try to kill him? Vice-chancellor with glasses always felt that Lu Xing's intentions weren't just about breaking through the Grandmaster level. Jiang He stroked his beard appreciatively. This young man is truly 1 in 10,000 to reach such heights at his age. His temperament and courage are extraordinary. Then he quietly instructed his subordinates to keep an eye on things, making sure that Lu Xing wouldn't get injured. His subordinates reassured Jiang He, the vice-chancellors of the 7 St. Martial universities are even more nervous than us. Lian Ji Bei was puzzled. Even if Lu Xing is strong, he's still just at level 6, while I've been a Grandmaster for over 20 years. How can this kid be so arrogant? With both parties consenting, Jiang He announced the start of the match, but reminded them to keep it controlled and to stop at the point of contact. At that moment, Lu Xing smiled, finally getting what he had been waiting for. Lian Ji Bei burst out with a green aura. Kid, do you feel the pressure of a Grandmaster? To deal a fatal blow to Lu Xing and not give others a chance to rescue him, Lian Ji Bei even activated his mutated state. But at that moment, Lu Xing was already rapidly approaching Lian Ji Bei with the same idea of a straightforward duel to the death. As Lian Ji Bei wondered about Lu Xing's incredible speed, Lu Xing slowly spoke in front of him. I have a punch, and I'd like to invite Grandmaster Lian to embrace death. After speaking, the long-lost divine illumination of the Underworld King's scripture activated, massively boosting his vital energy and blood. The solar grasp of the stars condensed, and a compressed version of the fire element gathered in his hands. Finally, stellar force explosively activated, marking the first use of the divine whale Dharma aspect power in reality. Lian Ji Bei was stunned at that moment. Then, like a sun, intense heat exploded at the center of the martial platform. Realizing the extreme danger of the energy inside, Jiang He immediately flew towards the fireball. No, we need to stop this now. The high-density flame energy engulfed Lian Ji Bei the moment it made contact, consuming him instantly. When the smoke cleared, only Lian Ji Bei's feet remained. As Jiang He landed, he immediately called for a halt. Lu Xing calmly responded, "What's the matter, Grandmaster? Do you also wish to fight me?" Seeing this, Jiang He was 90% baffled and 10% flabbergasted. He could not believe that Lu Xing had just killed a peak Grandmaster in seconds and was now considering challenging him, an 8th level Great Grandmaster. At this moment, the Vice-Chancellor seemed to be still in a dream. Lian Ji Bei was actually killed by Lu Xing, not even leaving a body behind. It seems that Lu Xing was not merely using the pressure of a Grandmaster, he was challenging one. The audience was pinching their faces in disbelief. Was Lu Xing really just level 6? The next moment, the Vice-Chancellor slammed the table. It seems he knew what Lu Xing was planning to do. Lu Xing probably intended to challenge the Martial Saint from the beginning. He doesn't even care about becoming a disciple of the Martial Saint. He doesn't think much of Tan Zhongyu, the Martial Saint. Seeing the Vice-Chancellor's expression, Lu Xing smiled openly. It seems the Vice-Chancellor finally understands my approach. Elder Jiang was shocked. Could it be that Lu Xing had premeditated this? And he's not even 19 years old yet. Truly terrifying. After that, Elder Jiang said he would report the incident to the Extreme Way Martial Arts School and Tan Zhongyu, advising Lu Xing to behave prudently. But Lu Xing seemed indifferent, thinking that the old man was not going to take action himself, which was a pity as he had hoped to gauge the gap between himself and an 8th level Great Grandmaster. Just then, a large hand grabbed Lu Xing. Turning around, he saw it was the Vice-Chancellor with glasses, who was anxious to immediately take Lu Xing down the mountain. Hurry, come back with me to the 7th St. Martial University, and then to see Martial Saint Tan. You've really caused a mess this time. Lian Ji Bei is no ordinary Grandmaster. Hearing this, Lu Xing said, I know. He is the brother of Martial Saint's wife, Lian Su. Damn, you knew and still dared to do this? Now, probably only Tan Martial Saint can protect you. However, Lu Xing clapped his hands and refused the Vice-Chancellor's kindness. I don't need protection. The Vice-Chancellor cursed in frustration. Are you mad? Even if you're not afraid, what about your family and friends? They could get dragged into this. You're still young. Some things shouldn't be done impulsively, lest you regret them later. Let's go. It'll be too late once the Lian family hears the news. Yeah, once the Lian family gets the news, it'll be too late. So Vice-Chancellor, I can't go with you just yet. The Vice-Chancellor was again startled by Lu Xing's actions, as he could guess what Lu Xing was planning to do next. So, he told Lu Xing to hurry back and that he would wait for him in the capital. Looking down the stairs, Lu Xing smiled slightly. let's see. My Grandmaster speed. With such terrifying speed, the Vice-Chancellor was starting to lose grasp of Lu Xing's realm. Meanwhile, Lu Xing's family, having just seen on TV that Lu Xing was challenging a Grandmaster before the signal was lost, panicked and quickly bought tickets for the next train to visit Lu Xing. Lu's mother was so anxious that she burst into tears, asking if there was a faster train. Lu's father asked Qinghe to come and comfort Lu's mother, but Qinghe didn't know how to make it better. I'm dying of worry too. That's a Grandmaster he's challenging openly. That's no ordinary fighter. Just then, Qinghe's phone rang. It was a call from Lu Xing to reassure them. He explained that the broadcast had been cut off because there was no signal on the mountain, and assured everyone that he was safe, urging his family not to worry. He mentioned that the challenge against the Grandmaster was just for show. After explaining everything, everyone decided to refund their tickets and return home. The only thing that puzzled his sister was why such a show had never happened before, but appeared this year. Meanwhile, in a corner of the train station, several pairs of eyes were secretly watching the sister and her family. Report, they're heading back now, and we've been keeping an eye on them. They were agents sent by Chief Commander Yu Fei to covertly protect Lu Xing's family. As he watched the news on his phone, he couldn't help but reflect, a 19-year-old who can slay a Grandmaster peak. This young man is destined for greatness. After coming down the mountain, Lu Xing immediately went to Fashion KTV. He was afraid of losing his loved ones and everything else, but he was more afraid of living the rest of his life under the watchful eyes of those four. Just as he reached the door of the private room, Lu Xing activated his psychic perception and quickly detected the weeping Lian Yi. Lian Yi, covering his face, cried out, not knowing who had killed his father, only that his family had ordered him to come home immediately. Just as he was about to leave with his assistant to return to his family, Lu Xing blocked his path. Lian Yi, is it? Your dad Lian Ji Bei sent me to pick you up. He said he really wants to see you. Meanwhile, at the side of Lian Ji Bei's sister Lian Su, a man with green hair was kneeling, recounting the whole incident to her. After listening, Lian Su didn't believe a word, knowing her brother was a coward who liked to bully the weak and feared the strong, and would never dare accept a challenge from another Grandmaster in person. The man with green hair trembled as he spoke. Lu Xing, who killed Grandmaster Lian, he's a level 6 martial artist. Upon hearing this, Lian Su's glass shattered in her hand. There's a limit to jokes. A level 6 martial artist killing my brother? Even if he's a newbie, he's not an idiot. Please, calm down, madam. This Lu Xing must have made a sudden breakthrough to Grandmaster right before the act, which is how he managed to defeat Grandmaster Lian. Hearing this, the mentally unstable Lian Su burst into mad laughter. I just knew my rookie brother couldn't possibly be killed by a level 6 martial artist. Lian Su laughed and then started crying. So the other guy is a martial arts prodigy. Huh? Then don't blame me. After her outburst, Lian Su immediately instructed the man with green hair to take action, ordering him to go kill Lu Xing first. But the man with green hair argued that this was inappropriate, as the two had been killed in a formal duel, with mutual agreements to absolve responsibility, and martial arts rules shouldn't blame others. Saying this, the mentally unstable woman forcefully grabbed the man with green hair by the neck. What then? Should my brother just die in vain? Absolutely not. The next moment, a text message on her phone made Lian Su even more distraught. Fine, dead. Everyone's dead, right? Since none of you want to help me, then don't blame me. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Fu Jianming spent his days loitering around his daughter's former school, just to catch a glimpse of anything related to his daughter. Even seeing girls who looked a bit like his daughter would make him treat them as if they were his own. The girls, seeing an old man staring intently at them, hurried away in fright. At this moment, Lu Xing slowly approached and saw Fu Jianming still picking up trash. Lu Xing yelled from behind, Fu Jianming, I've come to ask you for money. After speaking, Lu Xing tossed a bag in front of Fu Jianming and said, they say a Grandmaster must not be insulted. Even in death their bodies shouldn't be cut up like pork, so there was no choice. I could only bring Lian Ye's head alone. Then, Lu Xing handed over a previous photo to Fu Jianming. Now I can return this to you. Take good care of it. By now, Fu Jianming's eyes were soaked with tears, and he was no longer the fool. He hadn't expected that the young man before him had truly avenged him. With a choked voice, he thanked Lu Xing, repeatedly bowing to him as he walked away until Lu Xing's figure had gradually disappeared. After leaving, Lu Xing received a call from the vice principal with glasses. The vice principal urged Lu Xing to hurry back, explaining that he had informed Marshal Saint Tan about Lu Xing's situation. Marshal Saint Tan has formally decided to take Lu Xing as a disciple and promised to shield Lu Xing from all pressures from the Extreme Way Martial Academy. But Lu Xing flatly refused. I'm not coming back. Hearing this, the vice principal was shocked and expressed his confusion. Vice principal, you should be in your office right now, right? Behind you, through that large floor-to-ceiling window, you should be able to see that thing. Do you mean the Martial Saint Tower? Vice principal, do you know what I intend to do after becoming a Martial Saint? I plan to shatter the high tower so that everyone may chant my true name. After saying this, he hung up the phone. In his office, Tan Zhongyu spoke coldly. Since he doesn't want to, let it be. You shouldn't feel regretful. He has his own path to walk. Although his ideas are very naive, well, it has indeed been many years since I've seen such an interesting junior. The next moment, the vice principal uncle said. Lu Sheng is targeted by the Extreme Way Martial Arts School because of us, and you surely know the character of Lian Su. Tan Zhongyu's expression turned icy. This is the path he has chosen himself. He ought to know all the consequences. But you do have a point. Let Huayu protect his family. With her there, his family of 3 should be safe. As for the rest, there's no need to mention. Although the vice principal did not understand why Lu Sheng wanted to shatter the high tower, that was all he could do to help Lu Sheng. Initially, Lu Sheng had not refused the goodwill of Provincial Governor Xiaoping Nan, but now he had outright rejected an invitation from the Martial Saint, who was a million times greater than Xiaoping Nan. As for the consequences of refusing the Martial Saint, Lu Sheng had not yet considered them. After all, under the Martial Saint, I would only become another Martial Saint, but what I aim to become is a Transcendence Martial Saint, possessing the absolute strength to level everything. Only then will I truly save the world. As soon as the Extreme Way Martial Saint returned, he barked, "You sent Zhuang Kuei? That little beast killed 2 of my Lian family." Lian Ji Bei was just a useless Grandmaster. His death is no great loss, but Lian Yi was our last direct descendant. This cannot be forgiven. The Extreme Way Martial Saint was somewhat speechless. Doesn't Lian Yi still have a few illegitimate children? What does that matter? He wants to end our Lian family line. Why shouldn't I send Zhuang Kuei to kill him? Lian Su became more agitated as she spoke. One was my brother, the other my nephew. Even if they were good for nothing, they were still my last blood relatives. They died without even leaving whole bodies behind. Hearing this, the Extreme Way Martial Saint sighed lightly and said, "I'm not blaming you. While Zhuang Kuei is quite capable, he is still a bit lacking and might not return successful. After all, he is someone Tan Zhongyu has his eyes on, and Tan will surely send protection for Lu Sheng. Just one person from the Bright Jade Hall, together with Lu Sheng, would ensure Zhuang Kuei stands no chance." At this moment, Lian Su walked over and clung to the Extreme Way Martial Saint. "My dear, then help me by sending a more skilled fighter there." "No need. I'll send the 12 shadows along with Zhuang Kuei. That should achieve the effect you want." Lian Su was thrilled. "You really do love me after all." Extreme Way Martial Saint pushed her away abruptly. "Of course I'll help you, but you've gone too far this time," secretly passing the Extreme Way's secret scrolls to Zhuang Kuei. Hearing this, Lian Su responded angrily. "So what? What other way could I have to enlist an Extreme Way Ancestral Star if not for that? What else have you ever given me?" The next moment, Extreme Way Martial Saint's voice was ice cold. "I do not want there to be a next time." After that, Lian Su slumped onto the bed, frightened. She could feel the killing intent in Extreme Way Martial Saint's voice just now. Meanwhile, at 3 Seasons Airport, Peng Huayu emerged from the airport. "What? I've just finished my mission. Why the rush? What's that? Under 19 and he's slain a Grandmaster. This guy is even more formidable than Xing Yuzong back in the day. Looks like Bright Jade Hall is about to gain another fierce warrior. You say he rejected Tan Martial Saint and killed the Lian family line. Now he thinks he can handle it all by himself? That's just crazy. Why do you still want me to go then?" The other end of the phone explained that Martial Saint is merciful. Although he couldn't take him under his wing, he didn't want to see such a promising talent destroy himself. This time your opponent is the Kuei star of the Extreme Way's 28 mansions, Zhuang Kuei, whose strength is at the quasi-level 8, about the same as yours. The next moment at the Lu family home, Lucian smiles as he opens the front door. "Hi, I'm back." Hearing Lucian's return, his sister excitedly comes forward to ask about his whereabouts. "Lucian, you worried us to death. Didn't you say you'd be back by noon? And now it's late at night." Saint Dad, seeing Lucian return, is happy to have a couple of drinks with him. Lucian excitedly tosses a backpack to his sister, an action that she complains about. "Bro, why are you like this? I am a girl." "So what? There's a gift for you in there. Don't you want it?" Seeing that he brought her a gift, his sister instantly turns into a docile kitten, grabbing the backpack and heading to her room while shouting, "I finally understand why you don't have a girlfriend. You're such a typical guy." Hearing this, Mom also smiles contentedly. "Almost 19, you should find a girlfriend, instead of all this fighting and killing." Just then, Lucian senses someone watching nearby and announces he's stepping out for a bit. "I'll be back soon." Mom warns Lucian not to be gone too long. "Dinner will be ready in 15 minutes. "Okay, 15 minutes is enough." Walking down a path, Lucian suddenly says, "You've really been working hard during this time." Hat Guy appears and bows. "It's all part of the job. No need for thanks." Watching Lucian's departing figure, Hat Guy feels a fear he's rarely experienced with people, akin to the first time he faced a high-level exotic beast on the battlefield. Following this, Lucian asks Hat Guy to send his regards to Chief Commander Yu and tells him that the promise he made back then might soon be fulfilled. Just then, his sister comes out and calls, "Lucian, come home for dinner." As Lucian walks, he releases his soul perception, checking for any strong presences within a 500-mile radius. It seems no one will come tonight. A week quickly passes by, and Peng Huayu has been monitoring Lucian's surroundings without a blind spot for a week. What's with this Zhuang Kuei? It's been a week. Even a tractor would have arrived by now. If he doesn't show up, am I supposed to keep waiting here forever? Logically, he should have arrived within 4 or 5 days. Could it be that this quasi-level 8 expert has procrastination issues? Just then, a subordinate walks out of a cafe. "Sir, Peng Huayu of Bright Jade Hall, ranked 13th, is inside." The subordinate was about to suggest he he avoid the area, but at that moment Zhuang Kuei arrogantly said, maybe a week ago I would have needed to, but not anymore. At that moment, the subordinate learns that Zhuang Kuei has already advanced to Great Grandmaster and decides to drive straight to Lu Xin's house to finish him off. Meanwhile, Lu Xin, who is cultivating at home, senses something foul approaching. Yo ho, here it comes. You've kept me waiting for quite a while. Great Grandmaster.